AITA for how I responded when my stepdad asked why I didn't bring him a Father's Day gift. Context: my mom remarried when my brother and I were kids. My brother never accepted my mom's marriage. Neither had I, but my brother was honest and clear about how much he disliked my stepdad for treating us like second-class citizens, forcing us to stay home and not visit family on every holiday. We had no birthday parties and were forced to work as assistants in his auto shop. My brother was isolated because of his attitude towards our stepdad and was sent to live with my aunt 8 hours away for 2 years, and I remember begging Mom to take me to see him but said my stepdad is the one with a car and couldn't take me. I kept on contact with my brother after he was banned from the house. I was 14 at the time and couldn't travel to see him. He passed away in a car accident a week before my 15th birthday. I was devastated I wasn't able to see/hug/vent to him one last time. My mom got busy with my half-sister, but gradually I was forced to care for her because of my stepdad saying God sent her instead of my deceased brother. I love my sister, but I was mourning mess still because of my brother and wasn't ready for this. I moved out at 19. My mom helped with money and we maintained a relationship, but I never visit except my mom's family, my grandparents and aunts and uncle and my half-sister. I see my stepdad there occasionally and I ignore him but act civil. We were gathered at my grandpa's house for Father's Day. I brought my grandpa and uncle gifts and they were happy to receive them. My stepdad spoke up and said I should have given him a gift as well since he is a father figure to me, then asked why I didn't. I laughed and told him not to worry, I'll get him a gift on Narcissist's Day. Most of the family bursted into laughter. My stepdad's face turned red and was about to blow up after hearing my response, then excused himself to the bathroom. Mom was very upset with me but waited till I was alone and she got mad at me for treating her husband like this and shames me for basically calling him a narcissist in front of her family. She said she won't let me leave until I've apologized profusely for not getting him a gift and then doubling down and being spiteful and humiliating him in front of everybody, but I refused to do it and told her off. My aunts were upset too and thought it was an inappropriate response from me and ruining Father's Day for my stepdad who's done a lot for me. Was I tough for how I responded? I apologize for any errors. I'm a 24-year-old male, by the way. Sorry for the confusion. Ah yes, all those things he did for me. Like teasing me like a second-class citizen, cutting me off from my brother so I had no relationship with him before he died, and forcing me to help parents his daughter. You're right, I probably should have been a little harder on him. He fed you, he gave you a roof over your head. Oh, you just mean the things he was legally required to do so as not to go to jail for neglect. Let the government give him a gift for that. Or the Walmart family, or the CEO of just about every major company. I had to drop out of college at 19 due to financial reasons. Back in 1989, I got a job as a receptionist for $18K/year salary. They are still starting people off in some fields, in some states, at $18K/year, $8.65/hour, which is still above the U.S. minimum wage of $7.25/hour. But less than some states' minimum wage. At least back then, while it was hard, you could still work your way up. You had to be hardworking, and extremely competent, and perhaps a bit lucky. I eventually finished my degree decades later, but I'd still been able to break 6 figures without that piece of paper, by my mid-30s. These days, I wouldn't have been able to do that. They have more of a hard-on for, completely unnecessary, degree requirements than ever. Even though pay rates are much worse than the U.S., adjusting for inflation, and college is significantly more expensive on top of it. Right? Well, I'm sorry. It never occurred to me that you would expect, much less believe you deserve, a Father's Day gift from me. After, air whatever laundry you care to hear, I felt you had made it pretty clear that you weren't worried about having a positive impact in my life. If I'm wrong, please, I do apologize, and would like to offer you the chance to help me understand how what you did was helping me. No, we shouldn't go somewhere private. You brought it up in front of everyone, so let's sort it out. D. No, my mom was a single mother before meeting my stepdad. Our biological father wasn't there and we never had a relationship with him. We grew up being very close to my mom's side of family. I was blessed to have my grandparents and uncle in my life, and they'll always be a big part of my life no matter what happens in the family. Participant 1. Prepare a letter and ask for everyone to be present for the reading. Let that be your apology letter. Start that off with the setup, having your mother and stepfather letting their guard down and thinking they're getting an apology and praise. And then eviscerate him. Recount every single scathing moment of your life with him as your father in front of everyone. Then go for the jugular. Get to your brother, how you two were separated simply because he dared to voice his true feelings, and how you were kept from him until after his death, and how you were made to be a parent to your sister who deserved so much better than to be born to a father like that man. But don't end it there. Go on to your mother, let her know that you loved her dearly, but remind her of the role she played throughout your life. Voice your disappointment in her and her decision to give in to the desperation of not being alone, that she ended up with a man like SD when there could have been someone much better. Also remind her that as much as you love and respect her as your mother, if you do at all, you are no longer a child and owe nothing to that man. And then conclude however you like, but make sure that you make it so powerful that it leaves the room speechless. Then you gave the Father's Day presents to the right people, since the whole thing is supposed to commemorate the role a good father or father figure plays in a child's life. A decent stepfather understands that a stepchild's respect is a privilege to be earned, not a right or entitlement. He just wants validation, and you don't owe him that. NTA. Op. I'm glad you have better father figures than your mother's husband. Certified Proctologist, 27. I knew a mom who picked her dog over everyone. Not her kids though, so some people can't even be as good as you. I once had a partner who told me he could never be with someone who picked their kids over him, like his ex did with their kids. I genuinely didn't know I was capable of ending a serious relationship with someone so abruptly with so little emotions. There is no reality where my kids don't come first, not a single one. I work with kids in the foster system and I cannot express how common this is. Today I'll be supervising a visit with a parent that is about to have her parental rights terminated permanently because she won't leave the jerk who abused her children. They've been in the state's care for 2 years. She's about to lose them forever. But she won't leave the boyfriend. WTF. Asshole enthusiast. 5. That is so heartbreaking. I genuinely cannot imagine choosing a man over a child, especially one that doesn't like the child. Man, like it would be a deal breaker if a so didn't like my pets. For them to dislike or be abusive towards my child just does not compute. That's what is too heartbreaking about this. Op's mother betrayed him. Instead of putting his needs first and protecting him from abuse, which was her #1 responsibility, she upended the parent-child relationship and put her unhealthy wants first. Now she wants to pretend she didn't sacrifice her son. That's the reason she is so adamant he apologize and fall in line. Good for you, Op, for standing up for yourself. Certified Proctologist, 21. I wonder why his mother accepted that his brother got banned. I would be mad at my mom for letting this happen. Those are my kids, and stepdad, even if real dad, wants to kick one out cause he isn't liked enough by him, I would fixing leave. Pure insanity is well said, and Op saying that stepdad is narcissistic is well fitting as well. Asshole aficionado, 14. NTA. I love your response, because you could have gone into detail and said no father figure of yours would have kept you from your beloved brother prior to his death, and that you agreed with your brother's view on him. Good for you sticking to your guns and not allowing your mom to have her way. She's welcome to love him with all her heart, but she doesn't get to demand you view him or love him as a father when what he mostly did was hurt you when you were growing up. A father figure wouldn't have stopped you from having birthday parties. Now that you don't live under their roof, you have all the freedom in the world to be honest about your feelings, something that you wouldn't have done if not directly asked by your mom's husband about why he wasn't included on your list of people who deserve presents on Father's Day. Your mom is welcome to buy him something if she thinks he deserves it, but he's not entitled to anything from you. Yeah, losing my brother was devastating. I had a lot to deal with and wasn't given the chance to grieve properly. I don't know why people tend to make light of others' loss and suffering. I expected my family, specifically Mom, to be able to provide strength and comfort in that difficult time, but she had her own issues to deal with and was emotionally absent most of the time. Your mother allowed everything he did to happen. I understand your anger at your stepfather, he earned it, and it's on him. I laughed at your response. Perfect. Still, your mother shouldn't get a pass. I see the compassion in you for her situation, but not of an acknowledgement of her culpability. She is a volunteer, not a victim, even now as she tries to make you, an adult, apologize. It's wonderful you have a close relationship with your mother's family, but you may want to see or talk to someone to help you see your mother more realistically and deal with those feelings. Take it from someone whose mother essentially did the same thing, chose a mate over her kids. It may take a while to come to grips with that aspect. This story. From his tone and the way he was talking to me, I figured he was trying to shame and make me feel bad for not including him like I included the others. I don't know why he even thought I'd get him anything, knowing that we don't have a good relationship. Maybe he thought this was supposed to be a tradition? Maybe, but he really shouldn't expecting anything from me. Oh, he was definitely trying to make you feel shame and or guilt. I'm sure he misses having you around to manipulate. So he took the chance to do so again. Unfortunately for him, you called him out on it. It sounds like you're already low contact with your mother, and would be no contact if not for extended family, so there's not much else you can do. Maybe have a conversation with the extended family that sided with Mom, stepdad, where you should be really blunt that he didn't do much other than abuse you and steal your brother from you. As someone who grew up with a shitty narcissist of a father, he wasn't expecting you to call him out right there and then. He was just trying to make the rest of your family believe you had a good cordial relationship when that was clearly not the case. I bet this guy puts on an act around extended family, then shows his true colors when he's at home with just the wife, kids. Participant 1. This dude, who knows he emotionally abused you, has the audacity to start whining for a gift for being a father figure in front of others at a Father's Day event. Like, seriously, who publicly demands a gift if they're not trying to start a scene? That little piece of manipulation didn't go the way he thought it would. Now did it? AITA at all. Also, I'm amazed you still have a relationship with your enabler mom, and I admire that managed to have a relationship with your sister despite stepdad's disgusting antics. This dude, who knows he emotionally abused you, has the audacity to start whining for a gift for being a father figure in front of others at a Father's Day event. I wasn't abusive. I just showed tough love so you would be a functional adult, and it looks like it worked out for you. They don't see it as abuse. They see it as being tough and a man. My heart hurts for that is tough. AITA. Participant 4. AITA. Sounds like the fathers you were celebrating thought this was hilarious so you didn't ruin their day. Sounds like the people who thought you need to apologize are keep the peace kind of folks who think you should tolerate crappy behavior because they think orderly behavior with a polite face on it is better than putting a stop to crappy behavior. AITA. Considering how you have been treated by him, he isn't a real father. A real father would never have treated you that way. Considering you try not to interact with him as much as possible unless he is dumb, he should have realized that you have issues with him and aren't required to do shit for him, especially as an adult. Your time would be wasted on him. Your response was rude, but it wasn't as rude as what I would have said, being as he treated you like shit your whole childhood, and your mom is probably just going to defend him as she also allowed this shitty treatment for years, so she is to blame as well. AITA won't let you leave? You have 2 toxic parents, and I'm sorry for all of your losses. Good on you for calling out your stepdad. Your mom is also enabling his abusive behavior, and you shouldn't have had to take care of your half-sister as a child yourself. Remove yourself from this toxicity. BC that whole "I'm not letting you leave until you apologize" bit is really bad. That's not how you treat adult children, and it made me shudder in how creepy and put-of line it is. Protect yourself, please. Colorectal surgeon, 39. I've said this before and I'll say it again, I'm sure, but I will never call someone an asshole if they've been abused and decide to stand up for themselves. You are not an asshole. You are a very brave and strong person that has been put through utter hell by the very people that were supposed to love and care for you. Your stepfather should have kept his mouth shut, but he decided to try and make you look like the villain for not getting him anything for Father's Day. All you did was to respond with the truth. An explanation as to why you're not the villain and he is. The truth is something that narcissists try and hide from, and I guarantee he never thought anyone would dare to openly say anything like that. Good for you. Auntie A. I am really sorry that your mother is too much of a coward to stand up for her children. She should have supported you, not her abusive husband. Nope, you are Auntie A. Your stepdad isn't of such blinding intensity you need eclipse glasses in his presence. Your stepdad treated you like an indentured servant rather than a son, exiled your brother from your home as a minor, and then abused you via parentification after your half-sister was born. He sowed that field with poison, and now he's reaping the harvest of being a dick. Auntie A. In what way did your mom's husband done a lot for you? He banned your brother from the house and wouldn't let you see him. He made you work in his auto shop and I bet you didn't get paid either. You owe him nothing, no respect, no gifts, nothing. Telling him you would get him a happy narcissist's day card was an appropriate and hilarious response to his demand that you should have given him a Father's Day card and gift. Good for you standing up for yourself. Your mom's husband is an awe. Your mom is, too, for saying you owe him a profuse apology and you can't leave until you do. The hell with that. You're an adult and can leave the home whenever you want. Narcissists stay ha 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 ha. Sick burn. That must have felt so good. Your mother is an awe for never protecting her children. In fact, actively allowing them to be abused and even pushing one out of the house. That's some sick stuff right there. And anyone who agrees that you should apologize to this horror of a man, can step off. Auntie, reap what you sow. I'm sorry you had it so rough growing up. That wasn't fair. The best revenge is to live a good life and be happy. You can't change the past and you can't change him. I'm sorry, but it sounds like your mom chose sides a long time ago. It sounds like you have your head on straight and are willing to stand up for yourself. Don't feel guilty about being honest. He was an objective asshole to you growing up and it wouldn't be fair to you if you just pretend it didn't happen. You've been the bigger person just by being cordial. This wouldn't have happened if he didn't feel the need to act like a child and ask where his gift was. BTW, your response was perfect. Colorectal surgeon, 44. Auntie A. He wasn't a father. He didn't care about you or your brother, just about making himself look good. He kept you away from your sibling. You nailed his behavior. Your mom needs to remember how things really were instead of how she wishes they were. Auntie A. A real father figure doesn't expect fuck all but your presence on Father's Day. My father passed away when I was really young, and have had different father figures along the years. Not one of them ever expected anything from me but appreciated when I wished them a happy Father's Day or spent time with them. Your stepdad also is a narc, so good on you for being upfront to him. Auntie A. First, gifts should be given out of love, not obligation. Second, just because you're a father figure does not mean that you're a father to that person, nor does it mean that you're a good father figure. My mom was a terrible mother, so she does not get a gift on Mother's Day. You get what you give, simple as that. So, this guy treated you and your brother like interlopers, sent your brother away, was responsible for you not having time with your brother in the last months of his life, expected you to replace your brother with another sibling, forced you to work at his place of business, and views himself as a father figure? WTF. I think you were being kind with your response to him. This man has never been a father to you, so if he expects a gift from you, get him a self-help book on how to be a real father. And by the way, your mom is a spineless zombie. So, you may have ruined Father's Day, but this man ruined your childhood and your brother's life. Karma is a cold bitch, and she will visit him one day.